Greetings. This is Dios. This is a communique for Vladimir Putin and Stalin. I've been trying to receive counseling. I'm at the snapping point in this torture at the hands of this species, no longer a life form. I proceeded to do my best to deafen myself temporarily. My SOS equipment capable of doing it safely. I have a voice recorder MP3 player. I've recorded some chants, the Lord's Prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Tried to take some time off my visual protection duty, having my eyes closed and covered while trying to listen to these things to basically get out of the torture of the sounds and sights of this horror, of this endless torture of I. So sure enough, this perfect weapon picked it up. I'm now at this stage. I'm being tortured by some monster who showed up with every chemical weapon it can possibly strike me with. It showed up immediately upon my nearing the task completion of replaying the number of chanting recitations I did of the chants. The species keeps putting my back to the wall, expecting me to go away when I can't. So I can't go away from this species, and it keeps proving it. It keeps putting my back to the wall and trying to torture me to the death the way I survive. But I'm being tortured endlessly with murder attempts with my back to the wall by all members of this species. The species has stolen everything it has now. And all this species does is the highest level offenses of crimes it can commit with all the species movements. Every movement of each member of the species, a crime. Well, while I was reciting the Lord's Prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance with my eyes closed, I brought up my memories of building the burial mounds I built after I killed off the predecessor of this species alone. And I'm ready again. I'm going to kill this species here. I'm going to kill every member of this species here. I've done everything I need to be prepared. I'm now tracking back over my memories. With it being that, I have some chants and prayers. I'm trying to maintain my calm peace with while I'm being maximally tortured during. And it has sparked my memories of having downed and killed all the males and most of the predecessor members of this species when I started this chant to do the work of combat dragging these monsters of this dead species into the formation of the burial mounds I built of them, saying the Lord's Prayer and saying the Pledge of Allegiance, saying so help me God and amen after it and such, as my mechanism of giving them all their final rites. And finishing it off with the cross at the end of the chant of the recitation of one, and trying to have one body in place in the line I was dragging them into per chant. I remember it vividly now. This species needs it. I'm going to do it to it. If you can't stop this, I can't stop this. They won't stop this. I've stopped this before. I remember how I'm tracking back through every memory of every kill, of every final rites, of every judgment, of every enforcement, of every justice code I had to enforce. Maybe I'll make it through it. I will kill every member of this species this way, as I killed his predecessor species again. If you won't enforce the justice code and kill them first, and stop this for me. Or, this issue we're having, not only have they stolen everything they have, and all they do is commit crime now, they've stolen everything of mine, except basically what I keep directly on my person, with them stealing at least 20 to 30% of everything I can try to get by my trade with them, on top of all the theft of my standard exchanges with them, Not this 30% they're stealing off my basic need to bring most things in through posts. And they're all constantly torturing me to the maximum they can. Any defensive movement to simply defend myself in this back-to-the-wall system where they have my back to the wall has to be a kill move. And every time I have to enforce against one of them, I have to enforce against all of them. And the only choice they leave me as the only defensive movement I have against any of them is a kill move. And I'm much bigger, I'm much stronger, I'm much faster, I'm much smarter. I'm in the right. I'm the justice enforcement. They're the crime. I've done this before. I'm completely prepared. And now I'm going through the exact repetitions of the chants and the memories. And I'm going to start my exercises. To go through the exact exercises at a much higher, stronger, tougher level than the work will be doing this to them. They won't stop this torture. They won't stay away from me. They've stolen everything from me. If only I could get into my housing units so I could lock them out, lock myself into safety. We wouldn't be having this issue. But these things have perfect security. The way I need that when I'm in there, the way they have stolen it from me and used it to keep me out. With it seeming, my only choice is to kill this whole species. If that's what it takes here, as they keep proving, to stop it by them, from them, to end their crime with the penalties of the Justice Code, I've been forced to bring down the judgment of needing to kill their whole species as enforcement for their crimes, as a judgment for it. I want to. I want it done. Things will be better for sure. I face no threat from them in any way comparative to this threat of not doing it. I didn't spark this up this time. Last time I sort of sparked this off. I'm trying to hold my peace here. I've started hitting my top level methods. I've started getting back my memories from the time I killed this species. I killed like this species off as well, sort of. Not in this fully conscious way. When I had to create the wrestling program of wrestling as a sport, as high school wrestling, having been an Olympic wrestler, as Dios, the God who created the Olympics, who killed always, at every sport, it was a fair rule at. When I had to instantiate the wrestling program from a club program to a proper government sport program, I killed the whole species at it. Basically. But I wasn't fully conscious. I was in a special trance of work. As I lost consciousness due to not sleeping properly at work, and this wrestling just became work. Like I would nod off at a long task at work, like frying a whole batch of donuts, and wake up at the danger point or with the whole batch done and such. And now as I'm starting to recover those memories, I'm having my memories like it's time to start my wrestling match. It's just a work unit. I start in, I do my one move, a clothesline, I knock someone down. I'm at the danger unit, I'm killing the illegal person pretending to be the ref. I'm at the next danger unit, I've got two people like they're ropes, I'm tying together by their throats, so the next murderer's in. With this system of trying to cheat our systems, like this is a club that can, like a mafia club. But this is a government sport I'm installing. It's the leader of the government here. Next thing I know, it's like the work's done there. I killed everybody there in this whole town. I'm in my car. I've had this happen a lot. I'm in the car. I sort of nod in the way I don't nod. It's just work. I'm awake. I'm at the next town. After I nod off having left that town, I killed the whole town, the whole state. Like that's just an act of work. So that's all this is. the way there is no humanity here, and there is no logic of life or living species here, with what is causing me to need to do this much work, to have preparations to work this way through it. I beseech you to strike to control this. I don't know how long I have now before I have to do this. If you won't control this, I have to do this. There's this worst point here. Every member of this species, I have this intelligence well confirmed. Every member of this species has $1,000 at all times. I can barely get 100 donation. Every member of this species has $1,000 to donate at all times. So this is a joke of this system that did this to us and to them, with them supposed to be donating it to me, because it's stolen from me, with them not being the exact thief who stole it from me, them being in the crime family that did it. They're all supposed to donate that $1,000 to me every time they're near me with the $1,000. I need my housing unit. It's the appropriate housing unit I can occupy alone and have a complete enough ecosystem to always have the supplies I need without leaving my quarantine in it. This species has stolen not only all housing, the entire idea of being capable of quarantining. With I being a perfect quarantine upholder and always having to suffer while being in proper quarantine conditions without having a lockdown state, this species invading to be this chemical, biological agent, weapon of mass destruction that attacks to spread the disease at every chance they're not destroyed or physically controlled by barriers. And there is no negotiations with this species for I to ever have housing again under any condition in any way, except the complete destruction of this species and all of its artifacts. To properly hold my housing again, I'm locked out of, they've stolen into. You, sirs, have to control this and stop this. Or I do. And I will. I'm preparing. I have a massive cornerstone I'm going to go through Olympic sets with. It's at least 300 pounds. I'm going to get up to the point it's like the lightest shot put to use in Olympic sets. It's going to be my mechanism I'm going to use to smash all these electronics and weapons they're using against me, such that I will smash everything, especially the metals, into a state they're denser metals and can never again be used as the metals that have done this. But first, I'm going to kill every member of this species, or every member of this species I can that comes to be killed over this, as I did in these two previous rounds. But I'm going to do this the style I did it the first time. I'm not going to be traveling by car. I'm going to be killing the cars here. I'm going to be killing the electronics. I'm going to be smashing every piece of metal that's one of these weapons against me with this stone I'm going to train up to this condition with. I know I can. I always have. It's easy. I love it. I'll do it. Then I'll smash every piece of metal that's been part of this attack system into a denser state, so it's not the same metal, so it can never be used as that type of metal again. And in doing so, I'll kill every member of the species within the zone, I'm going to kill every member of this species in. Every time I've done this, I've killed the whole species. I've done it before. I'm going over my meditations. I have the ones that are vivid. It seems like all I have to do is recite these chants I'm trying to hold my peace with, and I'll get through them. I'm going to try to recover the time I did after that. I did under this name. It's not my name I'm trying to get rid of. I'm going to get in this shape with this stone. Once I'm in the shape with the stone, I'm going to be ready completely and want to. Once I'm through the meditations, having seen it all, I'm going to. If you, Rank, who's supposed to stop this, haven't stopped this yet. This has to stop. This torture will stop. You're going to stop this torture. I'm going to stop this torture. I've done it before. I've done it numerous times before. I'm perfect at doing this. Stop this. It's why this is what it is. I'm going to do this. If you don't, stop this. Stop this. I order it. I beseech you. Strike. So I can at least lock down in my housing they've stolen. Never needing to unlock like you, Stalin, and you, Putin, have. Stop this, or I will. I'll stop this. I'll kill this entire species for this. At least in this zone, I need the species not in. I will kill every member of this species who gets in this zone. To stop this, because this is the way I have always stopped this. Stop this, or that is what I will do, at the minimum, to stop this.